Good morning, family. Welcome to another edition of the Economic News. Alright, family, the time is 4:01 a.m. and I'm just about ready to head out to work, so we're going to get it started. Let's take a look at the stock market, the futures. The Dow is up. The futures, the S&P futures are up, and the Nasdaq futures are up. Nasdaq is up about 0.086%. S&P is up at about 0.069%, and the Dow is up about 0.72%. Alright, family. We'll switch over to oil. Alright, the oil markets are sitting down right now. The OIL is down about 1.92%. If we'll round that up, we can go ahead and go into 2%. The Brent oil index, that is down about negative 2.1%. The natural gas is down. These are the futures for the natural gas here in the U.S. markets. Overseas markets, they're pretty much, I think, getting ready to close down for the day, or they've already closed, and we're getting ready to wake up. So we're going off of what they've sold off overseas. In the overseas markets, family, they do have an impact on us. All right, the natural gas is down about negative 0.67%. The RBOB gas is down. Just go ahead. We're going to round it up to 2%. It's down to 1.92%, but they're going to round it up to 2%. And the ULSDHO, that is down about. That is another oil index that is down about 1.33%. All right, family. We go to some of the Asian markets here. The Nikkei, which is Japanese market, she is up about 0.70%, 0.7%, family. All right. The Shanghai is down negative 0.3%. All right, family. So we'll go ahead and switch over to something that the bonds, the bond market or the debt market, family. That the U.S. Treasury 10-year Treasury note is down about negative 0.0008%. The Bund, that's the German bond, she is down about negative 0.013. The Japanese 10-year, the yen is down. 10-year yen bond, that is negative 0.0005, and the UK bond is down negative 0.021. All right, and the France as well. France's 10-year, she is down about 0.18% negative. Alright, family. We're going to top it off with finishing up gold. Gold sitting right now is down about, it's about, let's say, go ahead and round it up to less than 1%, very less than 1%, family. So about negative 0.352%, rounding off at $1,705 per ounce. Silver is down to about $17.56 an ounce. Copper is down to $2.40 an ounce, and platinum is down to $866.70 per ounce, family. All right, and the palladium is down to $1,967.60. So, family, palladium is worth more than gold. All right. Alright, so if you can get your hands on some palladium, not platinum, palladium, then guess what, family? You got it. You got a lot more worth than gold, alright, family? But gold is somewhat be the gold standard, alright? Alright, family, let's get into some of the news here. This coming from Zero Hedge by Tyler Durden. Yes, sir. A moment of truth for the euro. ECB preparing to run QE without Bundesbank. Bundesbank is the German bank. The Germans and the European Central Bank, the ECB, are at odds with each other, family. The Germans are sick of being the bankers for the Europe, for the rest of Europe, especially the pigs nation. If you're people talking about the pigs, that is Portugal, Italy, Greece, and Spain. They're all heavily indebted right now, and Spain is dealing with almost on a daily basis one of their regions trying to break away independence. All right, read about that, family. Alright, you won't hear that here in the States, but trust me, it's going over in Spain right now. Read about it. Don't trust me, read about it. Alright, family? Alright, I know I said trust me, but I need you to read about it. Alright, the shape of Europe's massive monetary injection may change dramatically in the coming months. According to Reuters, citing 4 sources, the ECB has drafted contingency plans to carry out its multi-trillion QE quantitative easing program. That means giving out money. They may not give the money to the people, they give money to their friends, the bankers, and whoever else, family. multi-trillion QE program without the Bundesbank in case Germany's top count court forces the main participant in the scheme to quit. All right. So again, Germany is going at it with the ECB. They're sick and tired of those unelected bureaucrats out there, and they're getting ready to pull chocks on them. All right. They've already started the process of pulling chocks on them. When the watershed moment was when Britain got rid of the EU. People seem to forget what the media here in the States will talk about. Britain was never fully in the EU. They were in it for economic purposes. And they were trying to get away, and they broke ties of them economically. So that was the last and only tether that Britain had with the ECB, or the European Central Bank, all right, or the Euro, all right. So once they broke economic ties with them, that was it. Britain said, we're on our own now. We don't want to deal with you, all right. We're going to keep going down. I'm going to read, as reported earlier this month, Germany Constitutional Court gave the ECB an ultimatum until early August to justify its massive buying of government bonds or continue the scheme without Bundesbank, which carries out more than a quarter of the bond purchases. Without Bundesbank, ECB's quantitative easing is effectively done. So they're heavily reliant on the Germans. The Germans have said, the heck with that, we finna pull chocks and we finna quit. Alright, family? Alright. Alright, family, so we're going to continue with going on overseas. The overseas theme today. Alright, family. The Bank of Nova Scotia. Alright. Earmarks. The Bank of Nova Scotia quarterly earnings plunged 41% after the lender set aside a record number amount for loan losses, giving investors the first indication of how the coronavirus pandemic will affect fiscal second quarter results at Canadian banks. So we're going north of the border, family. I shouldn't have said overseas. No Bank of Nova Scotia, north of what they call north of the border. All right, family, North America. All right. So basically, her family, not just here in the States, they're covering up with you in the States. Why you don't hear about it over in the United States? But when you go to foreign countries, they're actually telling the truth. The banks have set aside a lot of cash so they can cover the coming defaults and people not paying anything. These loans are not going to be paid back. You've already seen some of these landlords, they're trying to kick their tenants out. They've already decided, even though they have no eviction notices going out, no eviction laws that have been emergency passed, governor's orders, everything. These landlords are broke. They're going broke. It's not just with apartments. I'm talking about people who renting the land to operate a restaurant, gas station, whatever. They're not making dues. They're not making their payments, so the landlords can't make their payments. So it is starting. You're starting to see that banks are getting really irritated. They're now hoarding cash so they can cover the loans that they have taken out. And remember, a lot of these banks here and overseas have central banks that they go get their money from. So the central banks ask for their money back. And so now these banks are sitting around with cash having to pay the central banks back. Alright, that's how this goes. Everybody's loaning from somebody else to get by. And now the people can't pay the banks back. The banks can't pay their central banks back. Alright, family? Scotia's Bank embarked on on a Canadian dollar 1.85 billion or 1.33 billion in US dollars for sour loans, less than an analyst predicted. Canadian's six biggest banks are expected to set aside a Canadian dollar 8.9 billion for loan losses in the 3 months through April 30th. Triple the first quarter total. At Scotiabank, earnings beat analyst estimates even with the increase in provisions and charges tied its shattered metals trading business. Alright? We'll switch down to this last topic here, family, in the article. Alright, Scotiabank is the first largest Canadian lender to report second quarter results. The country's six biggest banks are expected to post a 44% profit decline. Alright? A profit decline. That means they didn't make any money. They lost the money. That's almost a 50% decline, family. Alright? One more point up to 45, you can round it off to 50%. Alright? The median of estimates compiled by Bloomberg Intelligence that would be the biggest drop since 2009. Alright, family? So You may not hear about our banks here in the States being bad, but the banks overseas were really bad and they're telling the truth. Alright? Alright, family. So, we're finna go over to a topic that's not being talked about. That is not being talked about at all, family. You won't hear this anywhere else, but you'll hear this on the Melanated Economic News channel. Alright, family. Alright? This channel, I say it again, for melanated people, by melanated people. Alright, family? We do our research over here. Alright? This is according to Yahoo Finance. Alright, family? Swiss exports of gold to the United States leapt to 111.7% tons in April, by far the biggest monthly total on record. While shipments of other destinations dwindled, customs data showed on Tuesday the global market has been turned on its head by the novel coronavirus, with demand in China and in India collapsing due to the lockdowns, while the West investors rushed to buy bullion as a safe assets to weather a period of financial turmoil. High prices on the CME Group COMEX exchange spurred shipments to New York. Switzerland, a major trading vault and refining center for precious metals, exported a total of 131.8 tons of gold in April, up from 96.2 tons in March, but slightly lower than April 2019. All right, so pretty much year over year, family, we've seen an increase in the gold, people buying gold. All right, family. Precious metals are very hard to come by now. Most sites, they're on heavy delays, even up to 10-day delay before they can even start processing your order. Once you make it, you pay for your order, they put a hold on it until they can actually get it in from the actual refiners themselves. All right, family. All right. The United States, which typically imports less than a ton of gold a month from Switzerland, accounted for 85% of that total. All right. So within this article, they're saying that the United States typically less than what the normal average to buying gold, but now the United States counts for 85% of gold that is shipped here from Switzerland. All right, family. And they're only reporting what they say consumers are doing. No telling what the government is doing. All right, family. All right. President Trump is serious. He's trying to get all the gold in there. Remember that he's a businessman first, so he's a businessman mentality. All right, family. So that was it for that article, family. All right. And we're gonna top it off with the final article. Goldman, the gold cycle started. The default cycle has started. All right, family. All right, this is from Zero Hedge. All right. Perhaps inspired by a recent article showing that loan defaults hit a 6-year high and bankruptcy tsunami begins, thousands of default notices are flying out the door. All right, Goldman writes this morning, with businesses shuttered and job losses mounting rapidly, there is a growing concern over the ability of borrowers to service the debt obligations and the resultant risk of financial stability. In response, Goldman Sachs, assesses its likely scale of the economy, wide credit losses, the exposure of creditors to those losses, and the potential risk to financial stability and the banking sector. To conclude that rising bankruptcies and delinquencies suggest that default cycle has started. All right, what this article is saying is people are not paying. Just like we said in another article, this is in fact what overseas have been saying, but now this is what is going on in the States. Nobody's paying they can't service their debt obligation. They take out loans and they can't pay it. So now default notices have been going on. Default notices have been going out. That means that people are not paying their debts. All right, family. All right. This is started. This is here. Get prepared, family. If you're not prepared, it's never too late to get prepared until it is absolutely too late. All right, family. There is more economic news coming out, family, about the simple fact. Go look it up for yourself, family, about the Bureau of Labor Statistics about the unemployment rate during this time frame. All right. You will be staggering and understand why they won't show it out, family, because it doesn't show us as the top of the unemployment list. All right, family, we're at the bottom of every demographic group out there. All right. Do your research. Go look at it for yourself. Bureau of Labor Statistics. U3 numbers. All right, family. Thank you again for joining me another edition of Melanated Economic News. All right, family, let's get it started.